travel bags and get up to 35% off on your first order on Meesho. Download now.
Know that Nipchara, you really want to jump in on Godlike because this team came out of nowhere in Group B and made it straight into the finals.
I mean, out of nowhere is a pretty good description of it. We were
अगली वीडियो में फिर एक बार फिर से भारत चाहता Well, we thought day one. इनको उस चीज का प्रेशर नहीं है. They're fighting for something else.
I mean, they definitely are fighting for the title. They are fighting for the prize money, of course. But बात अगर करेंगे, आप देखिए आरू एंड उनकी पूरी जो टीम है वो तैयार है. कैप्टन इज लीडिंग द चार्ज एंड वी नो आरू ही इज अ वन मैन आर्मी. अकेले अपनी टीम्स के लिए वो सारी चीजें हमें करते हुए नजर आते हैं. एंड अगर मैं इनकी परफॉर्मेंस की भी बात करूँ, ग्रुप स्टेजेस में हमने देखा था 91 टोटल पॉइंट्स के साथ टॉप 5 में, और एंगुटैन हमें क्वालिफाई होते हुए नजर आई थी. एंड व्हाट अ डे इट वाज. एंडेड डे 1 विद अ चिकन डिनर. डे 2 की शुरुआत एक चिकन डिनर के साथ की थी. एंड ऑल द प्लेयर्स दे वर लुकिंग सो स्ट्रांग.
ओजी तो काफी ज्यादा स्ट्रांग नजर आई थी अपने ग्रुप के अंदर. जैसे आप आरू की बात कर रहे हैं, उन्होंने काफी हद तक बाहर संभाला था शुरुआती दौर में और एंगुटैन के लिए, लेकिन टीटीआर बाकी प्लेयर्स को भी हमने स्टेप अप करते हुए देखा. और ओजी के लिए एक कहानी तो ये भी है जिसकी हम स्टार्ट.
My boy Ray as well as Federales and Axel looking fantastic at the moment. I think Axel's been in a huge amount of work, as has Federales, opening up a completely new style of shotgun play, which looks completely ridiculous in game 2. But that's my special report for Vitality.
Oh, thank you for the insight. Also, Axel, by the way, the IGL between some big numbers, especially on that one game against Hora on the beaches west of George Pole. So this team, with how impressive they were in the opening day of their respective group, which was Group B, right, Nipchara and Blank, can we see something similar going into this one, Blank, Mr. Vitality?
Ooh, Mr. Vitality. Yeah, I do think that bigger. I mean, Vitality is going to do very well here. The spiritual successors, of course, but I do think they're going to do very, very well. I think that there's not a player on that team that doesn't look incredibly good at the moment. And the funny thing for me right now, Neptura, is that Razy and Razak aren't particularly the guys that are stepping up the heat, despite so much talk about them. Yeah. Axel and Federales have come in looking very hot, and I think that's the most promising thing.
Absolutely. I think if you look at any of the stronger teams in globally, just the global circuit, you're going to see players that all have very, very aggressive gunplay skill despite their various roles, right? You don't have just one or two. It's very, very nice to see that come through for them. So, yeah, it's very, very strong looking. And also the fact that they can get so many wins, we were talking about that in the group stage, right? We get so many of those wins, it makes it interesting for that smash rule that we actually could have a lot of hope for this team to actually come through the pressure and get that win.
Yeah, it's very nice that like 4 Thrives, they can actually get wins, because if they do gain contention for the smash ruling and the trophy, actually that could put them in a really good contention to be crowned your Pmgc 2026 champions. Now, we already talked about one of the Indian teams. I think it's time to focus on the other Indian team, which is going to be Orangutan, Nipchara. You already talked about them, so Blank, Orangutan, what are we thinking today?
You know what? I think Orangutan, for them, I think right now they're looking very, very good. I think a lot of the emphasis, though, has to be on Aru, though. I got to talk to him a fair few times this event. Lovely guy, by the way. Really, really lovely guy. Great chatter. I mean, I talk a lot. I talk a lot, you see. And I think that's sometimes a problem for other people. But for Aru, good as me, I could just sit there and listen to him all day. But he's bringing a lot of the eliminations. He's also bringing a lot of the guidance to the squad.
Yes.
Now, there were a couple of moments. I think we're actually seeing on screen now one of those moments, which was a little bit difficult right now for Orangutan. They moved up on this one versus Flash. They struggled a little bit on the gunfight. However, they ended up winning that game. It looked a little bit shaky. I think that they saw the issues coming to that. But yeah, I do think that the rest of the team needs to develop around Aru, essentially.
Yeah, I think Aru's got some great ideas and he's got some great direction. It's just that synergy that has to come through. I think probably there's a little bit of, I don't want to say the word panic, that's a very strong word.
Let's go.
These high-pressure situations, your first Pmgc, whatever, you are going to go, oh my god, they're everywhere.
Let's go, Godl.
Really worked on that. They've solved so much of that, and so yeah, it is looking really, really nice for them. So very, very hopeful for this squad to actually do big things here.
Very hopeful. We'll see how high they can actually rank up.
OG.
I don't know what.
I think it's a team that has been getting better and better and better
quite well, all things considered, because last time we saw them this year, they looked fairly unconvincing. They looked scared, they looked like they didn't have it in them from what was basically a rookie upstart squad who were testing a lot of other squads, right? Poking at them, nipping at their heels. They suddenly play this really passive game. I think some of that aggression's coming back now, and that's good news going into what's good news.
Though I think in the group stage, you know, they've been heralded as a very, very aggressive forward-playing team, and I think in the group stages we didn't see that as much as I was expecting to. I would like to see more of that in the finals, but you know what? It could be just a simple thing of, like a lot of teams do, they're saving it for the finals, and so I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to hold that against them. I want to see what they got here today.
They do kind of remind me of Four Thrives in the sense that every player has that clutch factor, and it's especially interesting. They go from Pmgc last year to qualifying because of an airdrop on Miramar, barely able to squeak their way into the finals. So now, actually being a team that consistently are able to qualify straight into the finals of these big international events. So Flash, I feel like, could be a big surprise, especially as they picked up the mantle of Deep Xavier earlier this year, right?
Yeah.
Could be.
Could be happening.
Also, last thing, chicken.
Whoa, chicken right there. There you go. Check him out. He's very cool. Check out the booth right here at EW. Booth right here at B26. We'll throw it right back to Lace and 7WG.
Yes, thank you so much to our special reporters, Max and Neptura. I don't know where we got the budget to fit Blank in there. I thought we spent it on him saying Vitality 100 times. However, our players are now arriving and getting ready for the show. 7. I do believe we are missing one caster.
We are all naughty. Caster दादा धीमे बोलो.
We are all. निकालते हैं तो डेट वाला परफॉर्मेंस ज़्यादा बेहतर है.
हिंदी तो बिल्कुल.
Zero reporter for PUBG Mobile here for Pmgc, and a major who's let one of our commentators out in the wild here, and we've got to actually wrangle him and get him back in. So it looks like maybe a little bit of movement's going on here actually. I don't know if they're actually going to be able to capture him. This is the problem with commentators. A lot of the times, they just go wild. They somehow get up. He's on the move! He's on the move! Okay, no, we've actually got to be able to try and find him as quickly as possible here. He seems to be hiding. I'm not exactly sure if we're going to be able to capture him. Just in fact, actually has a microphone already. You can see he's dangerous. He's very dangerous. He has a microphone already. That means he's actually right for the commentator desk already. They might be able to actually capture
Let's go. अबे भाई क्या ये? आरूटो देख रहे हैं भाई ये लोग.
This is a tense moment. Jump. It looks. I think they might actually have it. They might have it. They might have the John Allen. It looks like. Oh! Did you see that? Get a close up.
पकड़ा ही हो भाई चलो बे.
I think they've got him. Unbelievable scenes here at Pmgc. Oh, that was close.
As an Australian, I would have caught him a lot faster.
I'm just glad we caught him. Okay, this man was on a loose. We weren't able to find him yesterday during the day off, and I'm just glad we're able to set some bait to actually find him.
Absolutely, he needs to lock in just as much as our players, 7.
They really do, because there is an alert right now going on, and that is that the players are ready. We are ready to rock and roll here at Pmgc at EWC 26. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the finals, baby. I'm ready.
चलो आ रहे हैं अपने लड़के आ रहे हैं भाई. एक चीज करनी पड़ेगी मेरे को.
Months of preparation, thousands of hours played, and sacrifices have led to this point. Life-changing money sits on the horizon, and a legacy that dreams are made of.
We saw it in the group stage. We saw it in the survival stage. These teams are here for a reason, and every single one of them can actually clutch it all and become our PMWC champion.
Today marks the beginning of a 3-day gauntlet that each of our teams have to navigate. Each day more intense than the last.
Barney, I see we don't have to wait. The players look really ready, and it is time for us to welcome our finalists on the Guinea City grid, starting with Arena.
भाई अलग उन्हें रोंडो ना आप ही दो ऐसे कोई ना
Red Force.
And Hula Club Esports.
अलूला तो क्वालिफाई देखिए यार कौन है वगैरह स्पॉन्सर है हो रहा से हो रहा गॉड लाइक बोलते दिल से गॉड लाइक दिल से गॉड लाइक ओ भाई और आयो orangutan or what? OG. OG. Yup, bro. Yup. PMGC. They were say EWC. आज ना इंडिया पाकिस्तान थवानु.
Of the next 3 days. On Sunday, we will crown the greatest team in the world. So start as you mean to go on.
Absolutely no room for mistake. If you want to be the best team in the world, you need to prove it from the very first day. The PMWC
3 દિવસ ચાલશે આખી ઇવેન્ટ 3 દિવસમાં મળી હશે વિનર ભાઈ આમાં તો સ્નેક્સ અત્યારે જોરદાર કરે ભાઈ વોચ પાર્ટી આ છે ને પાકિસ્તાનની છે ને 4th રાઇવ્સ એક ટીમ છે એ લોકોની બી હાલ દીધું એ લોકોને બી એક્સપોર્ટ
So welcome to the PMWC at EWC 2026.
You are looking to do it here. Pushing up close and personal.
Let's go.
With the nade, turning the tables, and he's doing this all by himself.
ભાઈ આ શું 1v4 કાઢ્યું તો આને મિલું એ
Let's put the 11th on the board. Look at the TZ. Is it a self-denial? It might be. Get to double digits on the even.
આ બધા જાનવર આનાથી દૂર રહેવાનું વિટાલિટી દેખાશે તે મારવા દોડશે Six matches.
Are you kidding me? What a finish! It's Ida! S power is just insane. He's been throwing heat-seeking missiles all game long.
and opening the fight for his team. A full 4v4. S2G tried to catch a couple of their players off guard, but it's S-Power, baby. You can't shut them down that easy.
Yes, boy.
And you cannot silence Godlike in this moment. Adamino for the closing play. As Godlike take this chicken dinner with ease.
That is how you do it here, folks. And you can see the look on their faces saying, make some noise, Paris. It's Godlike's time to shine.
See on Rondo, it is madness in the Ox Factory. A big nade threaded on up and explaining 1 and 2. Thabk charges on forwards and they're cutting the rosters in half. Another one right up in his face. They go wide. Top's moving around the side. Aurora, a difficult beast to handle.
Godlike.
The run coming through from India, but it's not happening.
भाई आ जाए टीम के
They will not be shut up here. Aru still going strong. A tanky underneath, looking to get the shots in. But Flash moves around the side. He's whiffing the shots, unfortunately. But finally, they will hit the last shot. India grabs the back-to-back from
India on top. Let's go.
This team looks clean.
It's time to crush some dreams of 10 teams. Can I get you to press this button and open up the iris? Oh, with a bit of vigor. I like it. I'd like you to pull on this.
हाँ देखना TN पर
2, 1, send them home. Let's go, let it go.
मार हरा है 10 की तोड़ी बोलो हरा है वो लोग को नहीं एक नहीं मरती.
I don't think we could have set the stage better ourselves. So it's ironic that we were featured in that nice little collection of replays there, Blank. An incredible way to give you a glimpse into what's gone on over the past couple days. But it's going to get
अच्छा चालू करो भाई
climactic here. The best of the best return to the lobby, and this is where dreams truly do become reality.
I'm slouching, but hopefully the players aren't, because this is a day, right? Day 1, always
आइए set ready.
the most chance to get a big buffer online without that stress.
आतंकी पाजी
Teams were sweating, teams were shaking in their boots. But it's time to get boots on the ground over on Rondo very, very soon for our first match of the day. Who's going to grab that gargantuan point total?
आए अली ने सहीफ के सुना वो सारो प्लेयर है ये भी.
Because that's once in a lifetime type of a deal.
Well, if there was a time to pull it out, try and elevate a world record even further. Hey man, there's no better stage for a
आज ना
crowd, no more excitement and anticipation.
ये टीम होती है
Right now,
पहली बार के
City Grid, a PMWC.
आइए एक और तो what
2026. 3 years of intense competition. Twice we've had brand new champions crowned, and this year we'll get another.
बकरा है जो बकरा.
Never going to be the same here at this rate. With Yanko
Poor chor.
It is time to crown a new victor.
चार चोर आया.
Defending champion, will they be able to defend it next time? But right now, all that matters is getting those points online. Playing path is in the air.
चलो चलो देखिए. Let's go.
Finals, match 1.
Let's go.
Let's get it started.
First match.
Energy in the arena already. It's good to hear you, Paris. Let's keep that energy going throughout the day. We'll set the stage for you. So we get our
चलो भाई JMD
Pretty good games of Rondo, mate. You touched on E-Arena there. That was something to be remembered. But the consistency and the level of aggression we've seen from these teams back in their respective groups was intense. Now we put that all together. A big hodgepodge of talent. They're going to be stepping over each other.
JMD by JMD.
I mean, they will have to, because there's going to be bodies on the ground shortly. As soon as these players start dropping in. E-Arena here, though, teams do need to be worried. They've been taking this little odd stadium drop where they've been searching out players from different teams on their res beacon positions. Now, if you are remembering our game versus Alpha 7 just the other day, Survival Stage Day 2, they had a real tough time of it. They were able to hold out, but E-Arena made their lives extremely difficult. But it wasn't just them. Let's see what E-Arena can get done, because a lot of teams are going to be taking those res beacons
भाई
Oh,
आंसू है. Godlike ये. चलो.
Just how hot are these drops going to be and how much aggression is going to come out instantly. We see that opening knock from the side of 4 Fridays.
अबे क्यों भी knock आतंकी भी knock.
Lets the bullets fly. 2 players on orangutan
their feet as well. That's free.
नाइफ कर अबे यार नहीं भाई અત્યારે જવું જાને भाई मिलू ऑलरेडी 1v4 काट ली तू अबे यार बता गया अपना एंटी रेस एंटी गोटलाइक क्या है गोटलाइक बताओ भाई एनएस से देवाड़ी करे भाई वो 20 गोट तो लेट आयो ला तो अलग फाइट ले डाल
Coming swiftly in with that one or two S2G.
S2G got the chat with him for a little bit. I was actually getting a haircut. They were saying that they have the
It's what
lacked a little bit of. For that Turkish team, they were looking to bring that pressure in the bring it again here. There were a lot of times to see those teams, a lot of smooth Germany is down.
एसटीजी मारो भाई हो रहा ना मन रही क्या हो रहा से होगा 0 HP मारो यार खत्म 6 किल टियनबा 6 किल हो रहा ना तो बता पिला बाकी
We do have a Western circle. They didn't talk about too much. Flash already has tops in that region, so
अबे गॉडलाइक ने पिला नजीक था गॉडलाइक क्या जाते रे भाई टियनबा ना मंत्री अबे टियनबा ठंडू पी थोड़ू टियनबा तो वन साइड જ કરી નાખવા માંગેલા એ ટિયનબા ભાઈ થોડું હલકું રાખો એડમિનો નોક કર્યો एडमिनो आइए लेट्स गो दिल से गॉड लाइक अबे टियान बाने मारो भाई શું 8 કિલ એટલે શું કોઈ મજાક ચાલે इजी भाई बैठो ત્યાં 9 કિલ भाई इजी इन फॉर्म ब्रो मिलू दे भाई मैं कीधु तो मिलू हैरान कर से हत्तू मिलू खाई दे चलो गोडलाइक ओजी चलो के करिन बताओ હવે अरे 0 किल में नाम हारू नहीं लगतो ओजी
Tiamba, their biggest success in the survival stage was the fact that they started out so incredibly hot. Where it felt like all the weight was off them. So Milu making that 1v4 look real easy and came from the fact that they had nothing to lose at that point. They were already in. They're just pushing a little bit further there. We haven't talked about it too much so far at the cast, but we do have Smash Rules.
चलो चल गॉडलाइक चल गॉडलाइक सबसे चढ़ाई
The further you are ahead, the harder it is for teams to catch up to you to also get that Smash ruling. So we are looking
दिल से गॉडलाइक
similar results for Thrive as well as Vitality in terms of how far they set themselves ahead in those rankings to make it difficult for any team to catch up, to really engage that Smash ruling on the final day. Might be coming down to match 6.
एफएल है अपनी हमें गॉडलाइक ने हमें કોઈ ના આરામ દે એડમિનો ભાઈ હું કરી લઈશ ઈઝી છે તારા માટે બસ બસ ઓ એડમિનોએ સાંભળી લીધું ઈયરફોન લગાવી દો એડમિનોને ભાઈ બરાબર નહીં ફિટ નહીં મારા ખ્યાલથી બંને એકબીજાને ગોળીઓ મારે ટેડિંગ 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 દેખ સામે એડમિનો મારશે હવે એડમિનો બી ચલાઈ Tianba should less impressive. No elimination है शर्म नहीं
Still looked very strong. For them, it was more a case of switching on in those moments. And they've done exactly that. It looks like all the lights are on at home now for Tiamba. They are burning the midnight fuel. Absolutely wild. Speed at which she the speed at which she was like 1v4 again, actually? No, I'm thinking about it. Technically,
it feels like it is, especially if you then factor in
मिलू तो मिलू है भाई
towards the end. The survival stage that resulted in a winning free electric goal to the last guy. Yeah, like the conversion rate we've had on Raw 1v4s from him has actually been unbelievable.
भाई मिलू 1v4 है तो 40 क्या है गॉडलाइक अपनी तो सेंटर में एक ओ भाई गॉडलाइक जोन में ओजिन गॉडलाइक बनने जोन में लेट्स गो ओजी लेट्स गो ओजी वर्सेस ये था सर अबे बंद कर भाई मैप पे लू बताया फाइट तो नहीं
into the circle. Tiamba Yt on the back foot here as well as Ulf. Aurora holding a 2-2 split. I think they've realised because they're so far
maybe OG versus EA
and then look for maybe a major rotate on the west.
OG EA लगभग थी है क्या उनके ये OG versus EA थे क्यों कब अरे यार अपने जोड़े पेलू भी नहीं ने अरे यार OG अबे रिवाइव भी नहीं ने
Just on one singular player,
एक केटलर
I think he might go far back on this actually, Jackie. I don't think he's going to stop off early on towards the lake. Like I said before, you get a res off there, you know it's happening.
अबे यार तुम्हारा जल्दी कर्स चालू करो तुम्हारे
Orang's not terrible because they can just swing.
विटालिटी मार से लेट्स गो विटालिटी
Just enough time. Slightly further out as well. Head to his bed, he goes up towards the top of the north side, going to get that recall in. The vitality on screen here as well. Just the one E-lane starts off with Razy. I mean, you said it yourself, mate, doing your little special report on vitality. Razak and Razy, that's been a hell of a duo.
Twins, bro. Really astonished me. There has been so much talk about Razy and Razak. A massive amount of tenure throughout the entirety of PUBG Mobile, but Axel was just swinging and not missing. So that's what gives me a lot of hope, and I'm very, very excited to see this team perform as this tournament goes on, just because of how good all of them have been playing individually and as a unit. Take a look at Godl though. They're all towards that centre side. I think Godl showed us something different from their region. Honestly, they had some great aggression. I think they've been making little adaptations here and there, figuring things out as they go along. But genuinely overall, we're impressive. They were second best inside of their group.
only beat out by Vitality. To be fair play.
Let's go, Godl.
Vitality really did get it.
Godl.
We got a little crunch down the zone here as well, pulling further down. A couple big names amongst the dead center of it all. Godlike, as you touched on, 4 frags, Vitality, Enigma Galaxy as well. The representation from Aurora, another side that could have some surprises in store for us the longer this one goes on.
Yeah, Aurora, they just seem to have this. That's their major issue. Every single player on that team has greatness inside of them. It just seems to dwindle a little bit once we get to the final. We've been asking for that not to be the case for the longest time. Get to one now where I just don't believe it. It is sad. They are consistently always here, and you can't really put them down too much for that. The fact they're in most of the finals, that's already a big achievement. Reefers though opening up towards Yasa from Alula.
Alula versus Ul.
There's a lot of these big pillars involved inside the circle as well as the stadium up towards that northeast side, which is open on the outer edges, slopes down into it, so if you are here really
pointer maro
very well, it is their drop spot, but 4 Cries are beating them to the punch here down towards their southwest stadium.
Excited to see what the form of Fury is going to be looking like in a final situation again as well. They were massively coming alive. It felt like it was way better in terms of the decision making. Communication was on point. A lot of the fights we witnessed from them. Eagle as well, just playing so brilliantly with some of the individual plays. Looked like a whole new man showed up. This big man though, he's back on our screens again. Milu scouting around, seeing if he can get a line of sight potentially. Just playing close towards the geometry here at the cliff face. He's not too far away.
Eagle and Aki desperate to get some Milu's on board. I mean, man, every single one over on Milu QZZ, but these guys out, the fraggers on side, A-King. A lot of times playing off the back of him. Eagle, very, very good at playing that anchor style. Generally is the last player to go down. That's survivalist very well for them as well. Yeah, you're right, Furia looking good. Igor's, I think, was a big surprise.
Yeah.
Got big names on that team like Chief, Ayala. Silence also doing a lot of good work, but yeah, Igor's just giving it to a lot of these squads. Now we're getting in towards our later circles. We've had a lot of them.
Let's go,
Godl. Comfortable to play in, and swinging from apartment to apartment is not always easy.
Chalo, Godl.
Windows, little places to pitch stays in. We can't quite get those full finishes on. So I'm curious to see how this will play out. It can be a little bit of a passive game going towards the end, but you do have to get towards the outside.
Here on the side of the stage, the Enigma Galaxy fans getting quite excited. But meanwhile, amongst the battleground, it's S2G that feel the hammer crash down on top of them from Notchin Red Force. The hero of Kirmadaa starting it out well, and only one man in lock. Forced to bail out and try and keep their dreams alive as he breezes out of action. There's Aurora as well, clashing against Ida Blank.
Ida tried to get on the northeast side, which I think is, at this point, a little bit too late. They got crunched in by Vitality as well as Aurora. I think you somewhat deserve that coming into this stage of the game. Jounce is still far on the western side, but because it's such a big amount of landmass with a lot of places to play, you do see a lot of teams confirming here early, but you sort of want to be on that end where Aurora is, Vitality is those clear exit points across the road. A lot of other teams have to take something a little bit more unfortunate. All right, though, stepping up to the plate, he is breaking with the spot there. Away though, Jackie.
Yeah, this is risky, bro. IQ had to be so swift with the shotgun hits. Joker just
Arey, Dukan maar de, Dukan.
So much damage already done.
Hut. भाई अरे कोई मिलू ना हाथ पकड़ो यार.
This is looking some more points. Milu on a fat 7 so far.
It's not going to stop either. They want even more. Squeeze whatever points they can get out of this one. Aaron had to tuck his tail and absolutely bolt it. Finds a lone rock in a field and gets his head down. Turns his attention back up onto him though. Few shots as he dumps the magazine towards Milu.
भाई टियानबा ऑलरेडी 12 पॉइंट है लो मिलू ऑन टॉप चले
They're going to take the blue for a little bit to try and deny them sidelines. They make their way over towards the Pagoda. Just about in here, Jackie. Difficult spot to play. Curious to see how it does work out. Aurora, it seems like both them and Vitality have been tossing a couple of curveballs at one another. Everyone does find Eagle. Goodness me, he's still being a nuisance on that east side.
उजी जोड़े सारी जगह है
Thinking you want to try and ruin this for us on game 1? We'll at least make it
एक्चुअली
uncomfortable.
1 2 3 में गेम जैसे डिफिकल्ट है भाई गॉड लाइक प्लीज गॉड लाइक हील પરથી મારી લો ખાલી એનએસ ને મારવાની એનએસ ને મારવાનું છે બસ સેમ પેલા રાઉન્ડમાં કર્યું તો એ જ કરવાનું છે ગોડ લાઈક બીજું કઈ જ નહીં એ જલ્દી ગ્રુપ થવું પડે
Just hanging out for the time being. Does kind of save grace for Vitality because they'll hear the shots immediately if someone tries to rock up over towards Darkin. Just give them a brief opportunity to reassemble and reassess how they want to play off on the eastern side. Replay here for Federales. Just needs shots. I think this has been a key factor for Federales from the entire tournament as well. The actual speed. He is quick with it.
It was quick and on a disgusting angle as well, so good plays. Federales, no one clears it!
I know.
Tiamba, the playoff! Tiamba! They turn around back onto it, Federales falls!
What's gone on there? This is an insane push from Tiamba, by the way. They have practically mostly lived it. Only QZZ goes down. I don't know how Tiamba is here. They immediately scarpered from that south side.
અબે મિલુ બોરી જા છે ફાઇનલ 3 દિવસ થી મિલુ
It's like goodness me, Vitality's going down to Tiamba of all teams.
Mate, this is lunacy. Milu's looking for an aid as well, wants to really commit to this. Meanwhile, the last man from Wolf goes down. They fall side up into our first game. Milu right in the nades.
Oh, nice. Good name from there. Hits it back.
ઓ મિલુ નો
Still up.
હારી ગયો મિલુ નો
Moves down, tries to crawl his way back in towards the smoke to mask his presence here. QZZ still alive. Last of a player up. What you want to see as well here for Tiamba. 14 eliminations this game so far, though still decent. That is greedy. Vitality's gonna let it happen.
Oh, man. He's going to get it in. The rest is going to get him back up. The insane bit was as well, it was the nets from Aurora from all the way in the back line that got that initial knock back over onto Milu. Vitality has just been caught in the middle of it all. Most aggressive game of badminton with nades being bounced over the top of their heads. Molly in round the corner, QZZ with a nade back.
Just going for it.
Well, good night! Good night! The shotgun knocks them both out!
This is what can't be about QZZ. He's like, I've run out of grenades. You see so many players just step back and be like, that's it then. But he's like, if I can't do it with a nade, I'm just facing. I'm fully facing. Now Aurora, they're pushing on the sidelines. Can Tiamba hold? 2 versus 4 here. It's a tough one. The opening grenade is not good, but Reflex is taking a ton of damage. Top will fight at least find QZZ. And it seems like Milu will also go.
હા ટિયાનબા તો ગઈ એસ ફોરેસ્ટ આઈ હે ચલો લાયો
Lighting up. A spectacle to start here on game 1 of Rondo, and it's Tiamba that lead the charge. Now out of the running, let's see if anyone else can try and mirror their success with what
ભાઈ
remains.
ગોડ લાઈક કાઢી કે ગોડ લાઈક કાઢી કે ગોડ લાઈક બેસ્ટ પોઝિશન પર જ છે હીલ ઉપર મારવામાં બહુ મજા આવે પણ હીલ થી નીચે જેવું ઝોન દેવો દાવા ગયા છે Godl versus NS. NS चढ़ेगी already. Nice Admino. Nice Admino. अबे 1v3
Shotgun straight to the cranium.
अरे क्या थी? अरे
Not shit down to just a duo. Godl with only one man left remaining. And youa, they've seen the blood in the water. They want to see if they can row him over. They smell potential points here.
Option Red Force has not got the reset online at all. Still driving nades upstairs. It's going to have to be a big hole. Tizzy on the outside. Luckily that Molotov is not on target. Tizzy's just going down. What are we doing?
Wait, this is nutty out there. Trying to drop off the top of the rafters, spamming the shots.
जोड़े होत तो यार मजा आवत. गयो पोजीशन में नहीं कोई.
Playing with our hearts right now. Opening up with maybe a gargantuan game. Leading to believe it is possible once again for Aurora.
OG knock करो FL नो. किल पेलो लेके बोलो टॉप. वड़ी OG knock करो किल टॉप लेके. लो आरु knock तो. FL वालों ने एक कर रही है. OG ने रियल का है कि नहीं ये बताओ तो खबर पड़ेगा. क्या है क्या? ओके. भाई बद्दा किल आठ ले गए टॉप. सूर की मारो.
The angle was bad for him. Pulls off the first aid kit there. Sadly, not able to rank up once again. If he'd waited a little bit longer, maybe he would have ranked up over Arena here, who will go down shortly, I imagine. Thabk not able to weather the pressure here from our Lula, who are pretty impressive this tournament for a team that was kind of down on their look last year. I don't think a lot of people had high hopes for this squad. They have come into EWC looking fairly decent. Like, a lot of work's been going on for this squad. A lot of practice in the meantime. But Enigma Galaxy in top 3, a rocky group stage for them, but we're still able to grab those points. And I do attribute some of that to Coops. He is a nut player on side.
He's been big. King Cooper for this team, bro. Wearing that crown was the plays he's making. He wants to down on the offside behind the vehicle here. The traps countering one by one. They eat the bullets and they fall. Huge step up from Enigma Galaxy, and enough time to fix their HP as well before any other fights are forced. The only solo player from Furia, Igor, just trapped in the ditch between our two teams that are going to scrap for the dinner, and Top finds that one for an extra elim.
Just instantaneous shots coming through.
एक मिनट के बीच काल कोई भी मार देता थोड़ा. अरे और.
Here, but he's outside the zone and around back, but at least got the info on the side. Coops trying to hit the shot and go for the reload here. He can go for another. And that's not by. again, I do think for Pmgc, Coops is a really big deal. Not just on his own.
अबे निगमा गैलेक्सी बाहर गए कौन? Bro, dog ऊपर है. Aurora chicken. Aurora chicken dog ऊपर बैठो है. नहीं आवाज़ है. भाई जोल नॉक नहीं आवाज़ कहूँ भाई डॉग ऊपर बैठो है. गए हो जो आए ना. बूम. डॉग जो खाली ऊपर रिकवर आले.
Targets have been distracted. Discombobulated in the chaos.
डॉग आया एक नेट बुकेट देता रहे.
They also know that the offside's free after that original rotate for reverse. Ralph had to go back up that angle. But they have all the knowledge
अबे चलो रिव्यू दे क्यों लो. अबे ऊपर से नीचे आएगा ना टफ है. मारो 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 आने मारो आने मारो आने मारो. अबे यार आ बीटी आप ही दे.
utility down to nothing on side of most of these players.
भाई आपको जोन ले ली दो लोगों तो.
Honestly, on top form, I do think Aurora beats them out on that. Coops and Lord though, deadly duo. Prime of the two nades. Doc is up front. Is this the Doc
मरे तो दाओ.
Takes two nades. Just will tank them. But there's two more coming.
ये करो.
Sure he will do the same the next. They both go wide. He's going to push forward.
बे पाँच पे लोग नॉक कर गए. जी 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 जी.
Convert this one into a chicken dinner win on game one as two of the Warriors players buckle up.
सही गेम थी भाई 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 भाई. अबे यार ये प्रेडिक्ट करूँ फुटेज पड़ा यार. ये बोलियो ना इन्होंने उर्दू कर दिया. भाई गॉड लाइक क्या देती यार. गॉड लाइक में चिकन होते गॉड लाइक चांद बैठी थी.
In those moments, they are so clean on the shots here and there. I think it's just a little bit stuck towards the end there when you're trying to pull yourself out of the building. It's hard getting back on the road. They don't have a huge amount
Ah no, ना जाने कोई.
Pmgc also has the high ground. They serve well in this one. Yeah, good stuff from Pmgc. Again, all of Coops though. That is a great duo. We're seeing a lot of fantastic duos be born here over at EWC and really spread their wings into these matches.
You can see them enjoying it as well. Ralph enjoying the celebration for the fans behind them there. Everyone in the arena popping off with Pmgc taking game one. Stay tuned for even more.
આવે છે ને
Welcome to the front of stage. My name's Barney Banks and I'm joined by S2G's very own Manish. Manish, how's it going, man?
Fine, bro. You?
I'm very well, thanks. I mean, let's talk a little bit before.
Notre Dame, the Pantheon, everything is good at the Paris, but Arena is more than good. There is, I don't know. It's my first time at the World Cup and it feels so good.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about your team, S2G. Let's talk about the preparations coming to EWC. Were you guys, preparing here on site, or did you boot camp in Turkey? What was the plan?
Just we did boot camp at the Istanbul. We have gaming house at the Istanbul. And before tournament, we go to China, the PMI, Macau invitation tournament. And I don't know, I feel we're gonna take this.
You feel like we're gonna get this? Yeah. Well, S2G's run through the group stage was really good. Now we're in the finals. How are the team feeling? Are they nervous? Are they excited? Like, what's the vibe from the team right now?
They seeing me, my players are seeing me. Maybe we're gonna get the first place, maybe we're gonna get the sixth place.
Oh,
they
wow.
don't know. Yeah, but I think we're gonna handle this.
It's a very strong group of finalists, isn't it? So if you get on a roll, like, momentum is a big thing in this game. If you start playing well, you could take it all. But do you have faith in them? Do you think they can do this?
Yeah, I believe them.
I believe too. Badish, thank you so much for joining me in this interview. I really appreciate it. Enjoy the event and we'll see you later.
See you.
Back to you guys.
Day number one in serious business here now for Pmgc at EWC 26. And what better way to start it off than I have two legends here from India to talk about what's happened so far, as well as what may be to come. So, of course, I have Admino and I have Aru here, as we have Godl and, of course, Orangutan going to be representing from India. So, I guess I'll ask you, Admino, first. You guys must have watched the survival stage. What did you think about the teams and gameplay overall from the survival stage?
It was kind of little passive, like the previous group were too much aggressive, or maybe they were one more chance, that's why they were aggressive, and this was a survival stage. But I think Tianba got the momentum, and the top 6 were expected, as we have decided already in the podium thing that we have a fun activity over there.
Yeah.
And I think Alula gave a little bit surprise, and I hope so they perform good in grand finals also. But I'm hoping for Tianba to carry forward the momentum that they have already got in survival stage.
How about you, Aru? What did you make of the survival stage?
We tried to grab as many things as we could from the playstyles and the lobby structure to get a better understanding and to be able to predict better what the structure of the finals lobby would look like. And obviously we don't really fear anyone, but yeah, there are many respectable opponents that we need to respect in game as well, as much as we should, not more, not less. So yeah, we are confident coming to the finals and looking at the survival stage. We know that when teams have like only one last chance, it's like they play more in pressure, and yeah, that's it.
All right, so I wanted to actually ask a bit of a fun question, since we've got two fantastic teams here. I'll start with you, Aru. If you had to take a player from Admino's team and add them to your roster, who would you pick and why?
Maybe Espoir, because he's really consistent.
Okay. Same question to you, Admino. Who would you take from Aru's team and why?
Aru insists because he's a good idea.
What do you think about that? You think you're a good IGL? You think that's fair?
I don't know, I just work.
All right, so kind of final thoughts, kind of look at the finals as a whole here. I'll start with you, Admino. Well, what's your expectations here for the final? Obviously, it's an amazing lineup of 16 teams, arguably one of the best lineups of all time here at Pmgc. So how do you think your chances are here?
Well, I wouldn't be saying anything. I'll just prove it by performing over it.
Perfect. How about you, Aru? What are you thinking for the final?
I'm just here to play and enjoy the 18 games because I love this game. I don't want to feel any pressure or, set unnecessary expectations from myself. If we are going to enjoy the game, inside the game, then we are definitely going to perform well as well.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me, and best of luck today.
Thank you, Kalaris, for that amazing interview there with Admino and none other than Aru. But it does end up coming down to Aurora at the end. Even though Pmgc won, congratulations, Pmgc. I gotta give this team some props because we're finally seeing the MVPs show up for that squad. But Pmgc, Coops, especially at the end, what a surprise for them being able to come out with a win.
It's so nice. Just in my notes, I just have Coops because that's all you gotta say,
He does.
really.
He
I
does,
do. Can confirm. Yeah. See that? Yeah.
I can't read that.
Yeah, my handwriting's not great, but Coops was awesome. I really love the jump that they're coming through throughout that game, right? They played on that edge side. They waited for their moment. They bided their time. And what I loved particularly here, Max, was their push onto EA was not super aggressive. All they wanted was space inside the zone. They didn't go for that full push and that full clear of the team. They're just like, hey, we want some space. We're going to take it from you, take a couple of points as well, and then wait some more. I really liked that from them.
I have an idea, but this is just pure speculation. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I'm like, maybe they slowed down the fight into E-Arena, hoping youa would go for a third party, and then they could let them fight each other and pick off the rest. I don't know if that was the actual reasoning, but it's how it worked out in the end. And because of that fight in particular, they get a 23-pointer tied with Aurora Gaming.
Lace, and we get just pure aggressiveness right off the bat. This feels like a PMWC finals, baby, as 3 teams were able to get 13 or more eliminations. Aurora with the 17. Tiamba started off hot as well.
Man, I did not like, I mean, you know, we came out of that survival. It's just not, I just love the fact, right? I'm just getting so excited, so passionate here, that the fact that they carried on the same momentum that they had. I mean, it was exceptional from them. Obviously took the hot drop seriously, which, you know, shout out, love a hot drop taken seriously, and were able to capitalize and obviously recover the team. And this is, it's just a crazy storyline from them, from bottom to the top. And I mean, I'm so excited to see what they can do next.
Yeah, for Tiamba, they're looking to carry that momentum that we saw out of them in survival. Something that you actually enjoyed watching that game is the plan B, the adjustments that Tiamba was able to do, Max.
Because they had a great hot drop, right? I think it was, what, 9 eliminations after the hot drop? Absolute mad start for these guys. And then they start losing players. They want to go for the recall, which is usually Tinglong Garden. But then Hora, coming out of nowhere, looking to chase down the recall player, which usually is Eagle in Tinglong Garden. And Eagle instantly, instant response, seeing we don't want to go out to Hora. We're going to go for an Eastern rotation, a bit out of their way. But by doing so, he gets the entire team back up, and they get 16 eliminations off the back of that. Eagle, definitely, maybe not in terms of elims, but the MVP of the game in terms of what he allowed his teammates to do this match.
Allowing the team to be able to come back, allowing the team to just be able to just be there for support. Allow the other players to just frag out. And for anybody that had Tiamba, Pmgc, or Aurora in your predictions, congratulations, because those teams have been performing quite well. If you haven't already, make sure you check out the EWC Play app. Go put in your predictions. You could end up getting some rewards there depending on what your predictions are. And no surprise here that it is Milu from Tiamba with the MVP once again. 8 eliminations. This man is just non-stop right now.
He is, you can't stop this man. He's just gonna go from better to better to better performance. Here we go, the head-to-head. You're seeing here 16 eliminations versus 17 of Aura. And if I'm not mistaken, Milu had at least 8 or 9 of those. So,
you know how you just had some notes and it was just Coops, it's just Milu. Man, this man's just chasing that MVP at this point.
He is. He absolutely is. QZZ, though, shout out to QZZ. That 1v2 onto the rest of Vitality. He was wiped out by Aura like seconds later, but yeah, it's some really, really good stuff there. There's a lot more players on the team than just Milu that are really fragging out.
I mean, I was wondering going to this, are we going to get group stage Champion? Are we going to get survival stage Champion? Clearly, with this opening performance 7, it is survival stage Champion in the finals.
And we're hoping that that's going to be the case. If you're a Tiamba fan, you're going to be looking really happy. If you're a Fourth Rise fan, Fourth Rise, so it's looking for a comeback here. Same with OG, but let's see what's going to be happening here on the second game of PMWC at EWC 26 Finals.
Thank you, Seven. Great breakdown there, recap of what we saw on our screens live in Game 1 of Rondo. Starting to get a little bit louder in here, but Paris, I want to know, how loud can you get? Let's get some noise going!
It's a good crowd. It's a real good crowd here we got here in Paris. Supporting all their teams. I mean, the Pmgc crowd, they've been loud. We'll see if they can get louder. As Pmgc are doing fairly well here so far. It's really, really nice to see. I think, again, mad props to Coops. First of all, mad props to actually being here. The guys dodged so many events at this point. finally gets to play some matches. But yeah, the rest of the team's also looking fantastic. Ralph looking a little bit more reserved, I would say, in the gameplay, which is good to see. Holding those angles. I actually liked where he set himself up. It became a real nuisance. The big thing was, didn't immediately go down either. And I think a lot of times that's all he needs to do, because he knows the layout of the land. He knows where he needs to be playing. It's just sometimes he'll play those spots and then humble. And that's bad. So he's just letting the rest of his team work those angles whilst he plays that off angle in a really, really strong and quite frustrating spot to deal with. But we're heading over to our angle now, so probably a little less action involved, a little bit more calm, chilled out as we head in towards the first portion of the day. Fury at last game did come down to Igor once again.
Yeah. And honestly, mate, you know, normally I think you'd favour him in kind of positions like that, where if he had to step up as a solo, it's just how late in the game it was and how strong everyone else he was up against was looking, right? Uncomfortable position to be left in, but hey, they'd still squeeze some extra points out of it. So it's better than it could have been. For some of our other talented squads, they're far down the standings, but like you touched on, Rondo is Rondo, and now we get something a little bit more normal. Opening playing path established here, whole way down the middle.
Down on that eastern side, Yaz. Open here for teams to move into. Gakra a little bit harder to get towards on that western side. North George, well as South George, probably possible. It's just going to be a little bit more of a long approach on that one. Vital is just out early. I don't really ever mind the Kameshki split, honestly, over towards Stalbert on that eastern side. You have a lot of position to loot. Most of the time you are not having a second team come over here. So it's just a really good position to get set up in the early game. But man, Tiamba, we didn't talk about them too much at the end of that game. But there is definitely fire in those bellies today. Because to make that push, to make that decision, to just be like, let's have a straight fight on the central compound when we're playing Edge, I don't know what's gotten into them, but I love it.
It is so good. So many elims already, and they just go, I like the look of that position. Let's take it off. I'll be having that. Fairly watery circle, mate. Starting off one of these. This has been a consistent trend, at least throughout Survival. We had quite a few very similar to this on our start. Obviously, a little bit worse for Vitality with a late rotate all the way down from Stalber with their instant drop from the plane.
Yeah. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. A lot of the rotational tools will probably be removed as well. So it is going to be a long rotate for Vitality, you are correct. That might end up, or probably will end up, creating a little bit more of a passive game for them, a slower game for them. 4 Thrives though, loving life. You know, they get down towards Ferry Pier, the yellow's on the eastern side, there's no one around here, it's chilled out, it's peaceful. Set up nice and early on one of the prior compounds into zone 2. I think the scary thing about this one is it does eke in a little bit of Sosnovka, and there isn't a 0% possibility that this doesn't go down towards Sosnovka in the future. It still can, it could even center up around Bridge. Satan on our screens. You know what, the last game, first time I've seen Satan smile this tournament, by the way. Even when they win, he usually looks like something's gone wrong.
He enjoyed that one.
He did like that one. That was a nice win for him.
Yeah, they were chuffed to bits. And to be fair, it was great. You know, nice head-to-head. 2 very talented squads. Lots of contrasts to play styles, but Galaxy proving that it was on the money today in that first game. So low on utility, but made every bit count. Can they keep it going, though? You start well on Rondo. How does it look then moving in here to Arangao? Another chicken dinner, big placements. What are we looking at?
Chicken dinner.
I suppose a litmus test.
टिक 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 मैं बंद कर दी ढोल वगाड़ बजाए बजाए.
They made the similar approach to Tiamba actually last game, but I think what Tiamba did very differently was they isolated the Vitality compound away from Aurora, whereas Eden kind of came from that north side.
Yo, Honey Singh.
I thought that was a very strange play for Eden to make. I think most of the time, most teams would understand that probably don't want to place yourself between those 2 squads or those 2 buildings. They're very popular in that location on Rondo. But I don't think Eden had them badly before. They had some really cool clutch moments, some super awesome 1v3s right at the end of the games. Like, they have what it takes to be a champion, but not like that. or stop making silly mistakes.
Hey power. Hey S power. Apna power.
Squads that I'm assuming towards the end of the day will be in a very different place to where they are in the standings right now. Would be both 4-5s and Godlike. Two teams that have got so much firepower. Even just individuals as well. Thabk get some of that old form back out immediately, mate. You won't really see it, you'll hear it from the crowd.
I mean, he looked happy when I saw him this morning. Ready to go. He's got a little bit of shy smile on his face. Quite like it.
Cheeky.
He is cheeky. It is cheeky. But even when I was talking to him yesterday, he seemed like he was ready and raring to go. The rest of the team all looked happy. IQ is in high spirits, which is very, very good news for the team. Be able to give that advice and those crucial bits of information, where the team wants to go, how they want to play it out. You need all of your team to be happy. Though I am kind of worried about Godlike and Orangutan. So far, just because this is a finals at EWC, I think for them it would be unwise not to say they're on.
भाई ध्यान तो माहौल है भाई, ध्यान तो ढोल वागे
Tremendous amount weighing down on them right now, being in such a prestigious finals versus some really damn good squads. I'm hoping they could probably get back into the run of it. Like
gut feeling away NGXGTS.
Tomorrow, I think that's fine as well. OG already still showing off that they have the rotations capability to make it happen. They got far into that late game. Not a lot of eliminations, that's fine. Godlike similarly, but maybe not where we really wanted it to happen during that game.
भाई आसू आवडू मोटू
You've had to consistently keep grinding and keep that form on the
आवडू
go.
वाह
You come out from your group in those top team spots, you get a few
काले
days
बोला
off.
टॉप 2 दिन मरेगी बहुत
The
तेज है
thing that's changed is what's going on behind us. The energy in the arena, the noise, the hype.
Yeah.
They're getting excited because 4-5s have made the play. That's IQ with an opening takedown. But that's the difference as well. You come back into this area, Blank. Sure, with the noise-cancelling headphones, they might not be hearing it, but I tell you what, they can feel it. The vibration. I know the floor is trembling under my feet, so it'll be the same down there on the stage for our players. And if you're trying to instantly snap back into that tournament-winning mindset after a few days off with all this going on, it might take a game to try and lock back in.
Yeah.
अबे पावर ही है तो
I like that though, from Aurora. Because you can scout that a lot easier just by sending over towards the beach lighthouse and be like, okay, there's a guy up there waiting. Try and check the girders. I always think it's an odd
Would you be like, अरे मारो तो आइए.
send someone, slingshot them across, and it's like, well, we know there's someone across there though, but you also just lost a player. Like, it's so early into the game, could have even just waited for zone 2. I'm curious to hear what the analyst there has to say about that, because for me, there's just not EWC, Pmgc. Pmgc potential.
Especially if we see him get a good run out of this game. Goes down to an awkward fight. One
Heavy driver.
difference, Blank.
Heavy driver spotted.
Right now, where it's down towards the eastern side.
Push तू जा. जमुना गयो ने दो थे.
This is prime time to go for bridge camps. Yeah. Like if this circle is further over towards the northwest, maybe you don't go for that type of thing.
Ulf versus FL. Ulf क्या है?
Let's check if there's someone there. You should just know.
अरे आप भी आजू-बाजू भाई.
Devil's in the details. And it paints a very pretty picture here for some teams. For Aurora, it results in 3 players alive in game 2 to kick us off. Flash also having 1 player knocked here. Zone crunching in.
This might be the case. On a circle like that, it's very, very awkward on these types of circles, and it can center up around bridge across both sides, which is super unfortunate.
ભાઈ ગોડલાઇક ની ફાઇટ થવાની છે, મને એવું ગટ ફીલિંગ આવે, કારણ કે ગોડલાઇક જે બાજુ જઈ રહી છે ત્યાં જ ખોટી છે.
To head towards the northwest, but for Aurora, they're stuck now. As are Alula's kind
Utility Furia.
take an eastern crossing, or should we just play
Utility Furia NS 3 ટીમ અહીંયા.
cuts out a massive amount of space though. So much water involved.
So teams are just going to be
બગાય ગાડી પગાય બહુ બધા પ્લેયર આગળ ના જતા આ બધા પેલા જ છે ફાઇટ કરવા વાળા જ છે હવે ફિનિશ પોઈન્ટ લઈને જ્યાંથી આગળ જશે કારણ કે એમને તો જવાશે નહીં पूरा ये गॉडलाइक ऑलरेडी गॉडलाइक ब्रिज पर गए क्या गए गॉडलाइक ब्रिज बाजू है
We've got Arena on screen now. This is the POV of Joker. Tiamba though.
he's got to go.
Scrap towards OG. With God being hit very heavy. Trying to stay behind the trees, bro.
He's got Jimmy.
Able to stay out of dodge there for a second. I think he's very close to going down. AKOP actually challenging this.
अरे एक एक कैंप पण आखी टीम जती रही है ब्रो
Right, you know, there's a lot of nerfs that came through. S12K became the more popularized weapon. Despite that, though, A-King has been consistently winning these trades of it.
He's bringing it back in fashion. Seems like the horror fans enjoying this one so far, getting quite loud there. You see the banner flying. Haru. Oh, going back in. Let's see what he can do in a DBS. Wants to prove he's the DB best up close and personal. On to Schwetz with the opener.
हाँ दो फटाक कर दो
Teammates though as Joker strikes with a shotgun and Tiny K outside twists the knife. Another one.
જોડ ને કોઈ પાછળ ફરીને
Goes down to just Aru. Trapped behind the bike sheds and laid out by Arena.
Arena.
भाई ओजी तो
Stepped up to the plate, but not worthy to sit around here with Arena. Unfortunately, some good shots to start there.
ગોડલાઇક આ લોકોની પાછળ જ છે ખબર નથી
Tony
શું
K
કરશે
came in like a demon though from the sidelines. I think WizGod was not expecting him to be so up close and personal. Aura played back.
કાલે કોટી ફોર્સફુલી ફાઇટ લા ત્યાં હું આરો ઉતરી ગયો આ લોકોએ ગાડી નાખી દીધી સ્પોટિંગ માટે કહ્યું તો ગોળ ફરીને જા ને દેખાઈ ગયો એને એને મારે બી ખરા તો કોઈ બાકીને બધા કેમ અંદર આવી છે
We're going to play in our drop spot for the rest of the game. We're going to get very looted.
Oh.
Think about moving. And we're still on Sosnovka with this one. Fourth rise looking good. Down towards the southern edge here. Vitality trying to confirm over towards that compound that sits towards the field. I don't think that's a bad idea here. Gives you a lot of control over the longwoods. It sits around this area.
6 ટીમ ને આજુબાજુ
Not sure what S2G is doing. I think we've got boats. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it seems like at least one boat in play there.
આ તો હજી પહોંચેંગે માં નીકળે
Hovercraft wrap back over to the mainland, grab their teammates, then get involved with the action later. Meanwhile, though, Godlike taking on Tiamba. Milu on his last leg, suffering a casualty there for the Tiamba squad.
નહીં બોલવાનું નહીં કઈ
Godlike have received one knock onto their roster. This is the establisher. You can see the fight here from the top down. QZZ with a nade into the ditch. Manya very low, but backpedals into safety with cover to play with.
First nade goes long here. X-Power holding down the fortress. Keeping that drawbridge pulled up. Takes a fair bit of damage here, but he's refusing to move. Manya will reinforce the front gates. Actually, he goes for a
માન્ય નોક થવા ગયો યાર
on that, so Eagle's going to move round, understanding the position has been compromised.
નાઈસ નાઈસ ભાગી ગઈ ભાગી ગઈ ભાગી ગઈ
Some space back. Faint smoke wall goes up. Ooh, only gets worse for Aurora as well. That's quick from Alula finding them. This was the other team that was on the island. There's now a third party that's joined them with that late rotation round from S2G. Looks like they did go back to grab the rest of the squad. Yeah, it was Kamikaze in the hover.
S2G उल्फ नो नॉक करो नाइस फिनिश ट्राई करो फिनिश ट्रैप करो
as well to Godlike, so that battle turns into a third party fight.
For Godlike there, quick swing around. Take shots over towards Ulf. For them, Ulf should be able to pick the players back up. They've got a good spot right now. It's not as safe as they might like it to be, but it is decently central. It feels like the circle's peeling away from Sosnovka at this point. We have very limited space to work with. Alula trying to make the cross. S2G, Hamzi at distance. Will find a shot over towards Aurora there, leaving them at 0.
Out of the game early, 23 points is where they'll end. Not a single point earned on this one.
So a great start on Rondo, but a bit of taste left in their mouths off the back of the Erangel performance.
These guys have been playing the same game. I think it's the first time they've been inside the circle since the beginning.
By God, like zone ma, please, Bhagwan. Arre.
Yeah, this is kind of unreal. At some point, I thought we'd move.
Yeah, we're still here. I mean, Thabk is still in as well. I cannot believe this.
Desperate move out sir.
From STG on a backside, so they've called it quits and actually rushed over to
Pmgc.
Yeah, that's only a trio blank. Damage onto Yata as well.
Well, Kirmadaa might try and trade up. They're just in. They're absolutely playing a different game at the moment. I mean, I'm glad finally there's some shots that go towards them now. It's just such a wild play from Kirmadaa. Coop's taking a hell of a lot of damage.
मुझे लगता है मेरे अंदर घुसे को कोई मार तो नहीं.
Towards his team. And lock it down. They have lost one off the back of that. Vehicles are smoking, flaming. Flashes dash with going on. I mean, that's 3 eliminations potential there for them, but they're worried about these sidelines to the side. Furia.
Map stream लगाई पड़े से भाई ऊपर है.
Give it some welly.
Tiamba doing Tiamba things once again. Tony K low on
Tiamba ये भाई यहाँ Godl फायदा ले सके.
Looking for an angle here, but Thabk with the distant shot claps back onto Eagle. Aking gets a little bit high octane as he charges through the ground floor. Nade on the stairs. Mormon's cooking one of his own to bounce down. Godlike getting involved with a fight. That's Manya just outside the window.
ये नहीं मान्या त्यार नहीं जाना.
So many teams crunching in.
Good Molotov here, but really good timing from Godlike as they move into this one, just leaving Aking alive here for Tiamba. Arena on the upstairs with the 4v2.
Admin में जो.
Really good stuff. I mean, this is a good entry point coming through for Godlike, and they understand if they can get rid of 2 teams, they're going to be opening up a lot of space down here. Edmino, still at high HP count, but Manya finally does fall here to a nade from Mormon. Tiamba goes down.
Smoke on the stairs. Mormon's going to clear it.
Oh, see, give aro.
The turnaround, Mormon saying feed me more as Godlike charge into him. Quick decision, but not fast enough on the mantle. And Sume will save it. But at what
समय नहीं लगे
Saumya
है.
left alive for the squad. I mean, Godlike need more men now. They're only down to 1. What a play from Mormon. The speed, the velocity. Straight in there, no qualms. Now Vitality, they're up into it. This place has been the graveyard of 5 separate teams so far. Vitality finally just come over towards the dregs. The funeral's almost over. Can Salme stay alive as the sole participant?
The Vitality a victim from the top floor. Or will they just be signing their death warrants on entry? Axel being shot in the back. A new challenger arrives. It's Horror in the distance as Jiggle is able to punish and soften them, leaving them with 3 players left. Sume still just guarding the stairs with a nade pin pulled. He's going to go down. Razak going to dive around the corner. He wants to punish him with a shot. He will find it.
Really, really good job from Razak. I think you have to make that play in that moment as well. You hear the pin pull coming down, trying to get the res off. You're trying to go for the revive, get some respite in that location. So Razak goes for the risky play to keep them up as 4, understanding they'll need that amount of players to push through the next couple of compounds. They've got Oren